Hi.
Hello.
I've seized control of the keyboard again.
He blackmailed me. There was no choice. I mean,
so we just did spoilers. We just did some Game Grumps animateds. One of them had Dan Harmon in it, and then I got to thinking,
which is always dangerous.
Yeah, because rule number 1: never give the DM ideas. And seeing as I have recently started being more into the D&Ds.
And the Arkham Horrors.
And the Arkham Horrors. And then somebody mentioned Dan Harmon, and I'm like, oh, I need to show them this. So, on Dan Harmon's podcast, Harmontown, they eventually started playing D&D. And they actually, they asked people in the audience, like, how would we learn about playing D&D? And one of the guys is like, I'll DM for you. He's now, like, main cast. Spencer Crittenden. That's how he got involved in this.
And you pointed out the vodka.
And I pointed out the vodka in that because Crittenden vodka. Well, so this is Dan Harmon and Jeff Davis playing D&D on the podcast, and somebody by the name of Cup of Ste, Cup of STE, animated it, and here it is.
Okay.
There are 3 episodes so far.
We're going
to start with episode 1, The Chronicles of Sharpie and Quark. This episode is entitled Cigarettes and Riddles.
Jesus. What have we done?
Yeah. And boop.
That's the true riddle here.
Sharpie Butzelot is a tall, dark-haired wizard in what is unmistakably a periwinkle terrycloth bathrobe. Sharpie was born to a maiden doomed to life imprisonment in the High Tower of Penitence. Life was hard growing up in a prison, but he started to read and learn magic at a young age. He eventually cast Featherfall on himself and fell safely out of the tower and began adventuring.
Jumped right out the window.
Stands tall for a gnome, a full 3 foot 3 inches. When he was growing up, he was picked on by the local hooligans who insulted his ragged clothes and admittedly lackluster mental faculties on a regular basis. That is until one day he snapped in a gnome-on-gnome scuffle, biting the ear off the ringleader of the local gang, the Cactus Bunch. It was his first taste of blood. It would not be his last. These are the chronicles of Sharpie and Quark, heroes whose names are etched into the very walls of fate itself, who made destiny their bitch. Fuck yeah! Sharpie Butzelot and Quark are on the road to a treasure vault known as the Trove. A local sage named Darabon has asked you to investigate the Trove as a result of recent scrying. The path is dirt and it's a warm sunny day in Coldona. Rolling hills stretch on around you, but the path ahead bends into some woods to the base of a great cliff.
Oh, shit.
All right, can I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
How do we know each other?
All right, you guys are friends. You met on a mission to the Howling Mine. You became friends and you adventured together and you found out that you're better and you can get paid more if you work together as a team.
Oh, we were kind of met as rivals, like kind of Indiana Jones and Belloc.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Sharpie Butzelot, what do you think?
I would say that because I have a hawk, is this like a Beastmaster situation? Can I send the hawk up to get like a literal
No,
bird's
he's a
eye
wizard.
You
That's
can't
his
read
familiar.
his mind, but when he comes back, you can look at him and know what he's seen, you know?
Really?
Yeah.
Like to the point where it's like I can know the terrain and.
Not quite to that extent. It's not that smart, but yeah.
But better.
It's like,
There's a cliff.
you are not that
like
smart.
ass.
Or there's a giant like.
If there was, I mean, I'm not going to tell you yet.
Well, no, I know.
But yeah, definitely.
So, why not?
That's a fair question.
Let's go in the woods. I'm spoiling for a fight.
Take it easy, Quark. You love cigarettes and riddles.
Sorry. Oh, I have a riddle for you.
Okay.
What did one octopus say to the other octopus?
Ink.
No.
Well, that's how they communicate.
I get mad when you don't know that.
Easy.
Whoa.
I want to hold your hand.
All right. Well, that makes no sense to me because there's no Beatles in this universe, to my knowledge. No one's gonna get jiggy with anything.
You know what? If we didn't have so much success in the Calderon mines,
Howling Mines.
or whatever the fuck.
What did we learn?
We learned to
Or whatever the fuck.
Yeah. All right. Look, an ounce of prevention. ...
Right.
I'm gonna send my hawk up. What's my hawk's name?
Avenger.
You've got a cooler name than I do.
No. I'm gonna send my hacky hawk's name up into the ether and see if he has any alarms about what he sees ahead of us.
You're too cautious. You're too cautious.
Quark, listen. My caution, as you know, has sometimes saved our necks.
The hawk returns.
Avenger, what see you? I'm sorry. He probably doesn't understand that.
No, I know. I'm sorry. I just went to heaven for a moment.
Avenger, what say you?
He sees 4 little-looking people at the base of a big cliff hitting a door.
Interpretive
Sounds
dance.
like there's 4 little people hitting the base of a.
I'm a little people. Let's go help those little people out.
All right. Well, it sounds like certainly if you saw anything worse than that, we would have heard about it. So
I'm gonna rush. Let's rush headlong toward that door.
Yeah, sounds great. Let's
Walk.
do it.
Hey, Sharpie.
Yeah.
What's red and smells like blue paint? Red paint. Nobody ever gets that. All paint smells the same.
Do you need a cigarette?
Have you got one? Jesus Christ! I'm trying to quit.
All right.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Wow.
There's 2 more episodes of this as of right now. This is from 2015.
Does the third one come out? Did the third one come out in 2015 as well?
I don't know.
I don't
Let's
remember
see.
ever seeing the third one. Yeah, I definitely have.
Yeah.
I've seen the name of it,
But
I definitely have now.
these, they're short, and I mean, there's only the 3 of them, so you don't get like full continuity. But they're great. They're really funny. And
I believe you.
and this person is a very good animator, as
Yeah.
you can
tell.
see. Oh yeah,
I can tell, dude. I mean, great animation.
yeah, and knowing just those little comedic details, like occasionally Sharpie just going wall-eyed a little bit,
The end Avenger just like raising the eyebrow.
and the Avengers just like,
What the fuck?
dude, I'm right here.
Yeah.
What
and-
see you?
And
you.
he's just like,
yeah. It's
Could you not?
like
Yeah.
it's like can he communicate through interpretive dance?
and then just the idea of the DM being a guy just walking along behind the party talking
Yep.
is fantastic.
That's hilarious.
That's so good.
I particularly like when he brought out the big board that he
Mhm.
put over on. Like, this is what you were doing. Like he's at a board meeting.
Spoilers. You know how I occasionally say it's like, yeah, we got to use our God-given right to look around.
Yeah.
That's the next episode. That's where that comes from.
Are there like scripted scenarios that like come with some D&D campaigns? Or
Oh
you
yeah,
can, like,
you can
make
just
up your
you can just get
own?
pre-builts, yeah,
Okay.
or you can make up your own.
Improvise.
What I'm doing, because
I feel like that would be stressful making up your own and trying to like make sure like everyone's characters like are utilized.
well, so right now, like this is my first time DMing where I didn't have a panic attack midway through the session. Yeah, this is my second time DMing. First time it actually worked. So I'm DMing for these 2 Palookas and Michael and
Nice
Jacob.
use of the word palooka.
Yeah, and
Palooka. Come on.
and Elena's parents.
Wouldn't it be a palooka and a palooko or
I don't know.
palooko?
Forget about it.
Uh,
Anyway,
Joe
I think
Joe
it's a
Palooka.
neutral term.
so
I think it is too.
yeah,
I think anybody can be a
I think it's
political-
non-gendered. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
But so what I did was I took a pre-built shell, like a pre-built campaign, and I went.
Like a hermit crab. You're
Yeah,
like a hermit crab.
and
DM.
now I'm
Just crawl right in
sort of
there.
like building onto it.
your long thumbtail
I see.
just
Yep.
right in that. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, like I took the general like overarching goal, but once they've gotten out of the town, I've just sort of been winging it.
It's been going well.
Yeah.
I mean, we've only done one session, but it's gone well.
So is there like are there stressors on you to like incorporate people's character builds, especially if they're like weird?
Well, okay.
Or do they
So-
just pretty much you just like meet a scenario and they kind of
They have
Well-
to take hold of it, yeah.
Yeah.
So if I was like a half orc stripper, like that's on me, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that one's on you.
That is on you.
But
He
here's
does not have to
here's
Look,
how
a girl has to earn a living, okay?
here's how this
He
works.
does not have to create
Um,
scenarios in which you can strip. You have to
You
do that yourself.
you are
Oh, if you think that's selling your body and being a cleric isn't, whoa.
you
No,
are
no. Come
you
on.
you are characters in a world. The DM is everything else.
So DM is pretty much God.
You say like, "Oh, I want to do this thing." The DM either has to give you a good reason why you can't, or
tell you what to roll.
or be
to
like,
prove
"Yeah,
it.
you can go over there and try, but it's on you whether you succeed or not."
It's like, oh, you wanna,
It's
you lone knight with your one sword and plate armor want to face down these 5 orcs with batons and like fire and all that. You want to face them down? Okay,
and-
you got to roll. You got to roll
or like
a 17 or higher.
Michael.
Oh, it's higher than a 17.
Michael
18, 20.
desperately,
It depends.
like he has said this. Michael desperately wants out of this campaign because he is playing a halfling rogue, so they are small. He desperately wants to be thrown into the air, and then while he is in the air, throw daggers down at somebody. He wants this desperately.
It's notoriously hard to throw knives at things and get that to be effective at all in real life.
If anything, I'd do the rod from God.
It's fine. But basically, if somebody wants to do something really cool, you as the DM should be like, all right, make me this roll, and this roll, and we'll see if you do it. And if they make it, by God, let them.
I'm seriously one of these days gonna try for that flood of horses in a cave.
Oh God, no, not the.
That's my favorite thing that I've come up with is being able to summon a flood of horses in a cave. And I don't just mean like a stampede of horses. No, I mean like horses, like not flowing like water, but like you just hear this rumbling, and
Like
then all of a
actual
sudden
horses.
There's just
like
an
flood
avalanche of
of
horses.
So
Like the horses aren't galloping or
no,
stampeding.
they're haphazard everywhere, just
Yes, yeah.
just hundreds of horses.
Like I've
Trying
heard,
to do their best and
I've seen ridiculous things.
Aren't we all
done.
just trying to do our best in the horse
Like,
flood we call life?
can those horses be wearing squeaky shoes? Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Bro, yes.
Enchanted rubber.
Squeaky.
They're
Horseshoes.
They're rubber-backed horses.
Like I've seen one where
Squeaky horses.
it was an air battle, and people were riding like flying mounts.
Does it cost less MP if the horses are lacking certain faculties? Like, can they be blind and that's cheaper to cast
No.
than like fully sighted
No.
horses?
That's not how it
No.
works.
Typically, it
That's
runs
not
off
how
of
D&D
spell slots, not
Oh.
MP.
Well-
Although I'm working on that.
Now, say you have a horse that you want to cast magic on versus like a Pegasus that's already got wings.
Yeah.
That's a different.
Well, I mean, you cast a spell and then that horse can fly. The Pegasus can just fly.
Yeah,
But honestly, the one that you magic can probably maneuver better than the other one.
probably.
Yeah. But so you've got these two people riding along on these giant birds. One is trying to take down the other.
Like a rock?
Yeah. Yeah, or like, the eagles.
Oh,
The giant eagles. Anyway, so
Go out
the
here.
the one who's doing the chasing is a player and a ranger. They jump from their eagle, tackle the first person, and send them both plummeting towards a lake. In the process of falling, they are in a grapple. The ranger casts water walk on the other person.
So he just
So
And I said, maybe.
So because of physics are simplified, the ranger goes through the water and is generally fine.
to be fair in real life, he'd be super dead if you're falling really far into water.
But the other guy,
Splats.
because he can walk on water as if it was a solid,
That's pretty cool.
and he doesn't know that he's had that cast on him to turn it off. So then just
I guess
dead.
it's not like there's not like a special tingle in your
Not
spine. Like,
necessarily.
oh, that's definitely a water walk tingle.
Yeah, but like he knows that a spell was cast on him. He doesn't know what. But yeah, innovative solutions. It's important.
Well, this D&D interlude was brought to you by one Mad Doctor DM Benjamin
I
Tolliver.
know that people are going to be in the comments going, "Why don't you all play D&D?" Once I feel a little bit more competent as a DM, it will happen, and God help us.
All in due time. Hey, we played Arkham Horror. I mean, that was fun.
It'll happen.
It's D&D live.
Creative solutions is going to be the biggest like challenge for me because my solution to things is to punch it.
Well, like for example,
Wow, what a barbarian.
I'm a melee combat
which
person.
is weird because you're playing a cleric.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair,
Well,
clerics can be great, man.
To be fair, she's a pretty strong-minded cleric.
Yeah,
though.
punchy cleric.
Oh, I've seen it. It's great.
Oh, our cleric
In
on our,
one
in our last
campaign was a luchador.
Yes.
Now that sounds interesting.
It was, and
He stopped
he-
clericing and started punching.
and just
Hurricanrana.
started doing
and started grappling. It was actually grappling. He
One
did
of his-
not punch that
I
much.
can't
One of
believe
his
Father
big
Mulcahy
things-
was in your last
No,
campaign.
I can see it now. It could be like
right.
it'd be like a cleric that practices Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, throws down their staff and says, "Mount me, and I will tie you up in a knot."
It's weird. So this guy,
There's no mounting of anyone in
he-
campaigns.
he had a
as well.
spell that would let him turn invisible, but leave behind a duplicate, like an illusionary duplicate of himself. And so he was standing there, and he could control the illusion. So it was doing like, it was like taunting one of the guys. And then once the cleric gets to a point, he jumps and casts enlarge person on himself. So right about the time that the illusion goes, the illusion fades out and the cleric reappears in mid-body slam, now the size of a car.
Oh, boy.
Damn.
That's a big cleric.
Dead.
Of course. Who could survive that?
Rule of cool.
Who could survive that?
If you can come up with a cool idea, as the DM, it is my job to let you fucking try.
Hey, to try.
Except when you have horses in a cave.
Except when you have horses in a cave, yes.
Oh my God.
And one of my favorite,
my.
I don't remember the exact context, although I know that
What if those horses had thumbs so they can climb on the walls?
Oh God, no!
that's a nightmare. Oh no,
Spider
it's a
horse.
nightmare.
Oh no, nightmares are a totally different thing.
I can see it now
Elena got
climbing
it.
on the walls. Just
I do not.
Spider horse.
sorry.
Spider horse.
She's canceled.
does
Why
whatever.
did I invite you to be here?
Anyway, though, but I remember, because technically my class didn't get a familiar, but I'd asked if I, could potentially have
Oh, you
one.
could totally get an animal buddy.
Well, I remember because
A thumb horse.
My-
familiar?
the animal that would be associated with my character was a bear, like a regular sized bear, like a
And I'm
brown
like,
bear. And
that's too much.
Your exact words were.
Oh, this ought to be good. She
Oh,
has
she
the
saved
notes.
it.
Here we
You're-
go.
Yeah, I have notes from quotes from our D&D sessions. I'd like to hand wave this bear, but I can't.
Yeah, that was my actual. Yeah,
My-
because it's like I'd like to be able to just give you this bear, but that's too much. I can't do it.
Aw.
Ugh. I've got some.
Give
some
us
good
some
ones here.
choice ones here.
Talking. How about a talking bear named Sasha?
To be fair,
Talking brown bear named Sasha.
there was at
Okay.
one point a bard that was just a bear named Sir Barrington, and because his bluff checks were so good, people believed him to be sentient, a human, and nobility. And so the one person who failed against this guy and started screaming, "He's a bear, what are you doing?" was then immediately escorted from the room by the guards, and the people began apologizing to the bear for the disturbance. Carly, what do you got? Quotes.
Oh,
give me some good
of my
quotes
favorite.
here.
I'm looking at these. My absolute favorite, and I do not remember the context, is I'm drinking the raid juice.
What?
The
I'm
raid.
drinking the
Raid juice. I am
juice.
drinking the raid juice. I don't know what the context was.
Oh, that's weird.
Another two from our most recent session that I really like is when Jacob was telling us about, or no, I think you were telling us about the name of your animal companion and what it meant.
Yes.
And then Jacob was like, "My cat's name is Brandon. It means Brandon."
Of course, to be fair, Jacob's character is an elf
God.
ranger who he named Onthe Shelf.
On the
Elf
On the
Onthe
He's a horrible person.
Shelf. He is a horrible person.
He really
Jacob-
is a tiny
he was
goblin
so
creature.
he was so proud of
He
that
was
too.
so proud of himself.
On the way-
like he kept, he told Carly he was gonna let it happen organically.
and then
he
couldn't.
did not.
He did not. He was so fucking
He had
proud
to
of
push it.
He kept asking us to try to figure out what it was.
He
or
was sitting
something.
next to me, and I about went
Or-
for the throat.
Oh my
Just like,
gosh.
are you kidding me?
Wow.
Anyway, Jacob's canceled and he's not invited to.
What was the other one?
Oh, Blue Mothman.
I forgot about Blue Mothman.
Yeah,
Okay.
because something
Oh,
really
geez.
large
Okay.
and blue flew over, and there. and
The
he's like, "Blue
the
Mothman?"
context was something large was flying over, and so Jacob, under his breath, fingers crossed, goes, "Mothman, Mothman, Mothman," and then you say, and it's blue, Blue Mothman.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Oh my goodness.